As you roll in, I'm going to see if I can get my camera to turn on. Oh, it's not doing it. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please put some ears in the chat if you can hear me. Oh, no. Can you see me? Why is this muted? Oh, can you guys hear me now? All right, so let me go ahead. And if you guys can hear me, I'm pulling up the chat now. Welcome to whoever is there. Let me see. Hopefully I can get to it. All right, I'm here. Good afternoon. Hopefully I can get to it. Hi everybody. Thank you. I am trying this new all right, I got it. I'm trying this new Google Hangouts. I'm going to do a presentation. Thank you to the 3 people. I see Accordion. I see Due Process, Kenya, Sydney. I see Najut. Okay, guys, bear with me. We are going to dissect the brain today, okay? So that you'll understand all the other brains in the nation. I just want to ask you a question. Have you, at any point in your time, life, whatever, considered yourself to be like the biggest brain, the know-it-all, the one who has all the answers, the one everybody loves, the one everybody like allegedly and so-called idols? Let me know what your comments are down below. And I'm going to walk you through this presentation if I can and just break down to you what a brain really is, how it's supposed to operate, and if there's any malfunctions and what would be some of the malfunctions. So let me see if I can get myself, hold on. I got to get myself to another screen here, y'all. Hold on one. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I have a screen up. I see 4 people. Okay. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much, Due Process. All right, so bear with me, guys. I want to get through this as quick as we can, but give you the full breakdown of the brain. Now, sometimes when I look out in the world, I think of Donald Trump as this brain, right? We all have like this brain in our family. And of course, we all know brains on YouTube, right? So we're going to see how the brain actually is supposed to be operating. All right, let me get my chat up here. Can you guys still hear me and see me? Thank you to the 7 watching. Give me a thumbs up. Let me get my screen together where I can share it and go from there. How's everybody doing today? All right, Naylove, I see you out there. Thank you. Bear with me, guys. I got about an hour, and I'm going to try to as soon as I can. Naylove, can hear you. Loud and clear. Good, good. Sometimes when I do these kind of remember, Nate Love, I told you I was tight that day. I did like a 30-minute video and I couldn't get the sound. So hold on. Why is it not sharing everything? Okay. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to pull up the first slide and tell me if you can see it. And then I'll be able to move through the slides, read some articles, and break down some orders, functions, disorders of the brain, and see if we can relate this to anybody we know. Like I said, I have a couple of brains in my family, and I'm going to let them watch this video. And I always tell you, as I'm preparing for a presentation, I'll be like, girl, you may look like this brain. No. You sure you ain't the brain? No. All right. I was tight too. Yeah, no, I was tight that day. So now it wants to run slow. Bear with me, guys. Let me see if I can close out. All right. Can you guys see this screen right here popped up? Fair use notice and disclaimer. Let me see if that pops up. Thank you to the 9 people watching. Oh, don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. Do not freeze up now. I have a great presentation for y'all. Just bear with me. Like I said, I'm getting used to coming live on the phone and just streaming. But I really like to put some presentation because it ties it all together. And it wants to like freeze up right now. What is going on? Oh, come on. Don't do this. Hold on, guys. I'm not wasting your time. You guys are going to definitely love this once I get this one share screen off the system. It's saying not responding. All right. Hold on. Okay. Failed to restart. Device failed. All right. Let me see if I can share this again. Hold on. Come on. Don't do this to me, please. And you guys hit your on this. Why is it freezing? Come on, YouTube. Guys, when I say this is going to be good, bear with me just a little bit longer. I don't know why the Google Hangouts itself is freezing up. The Chrome. Not it says I can share the screen, but it won't. Dang, hold on, guys. I see 11 people watching. They love YouTube tripping. I'm glad you guys can still hear me because the last 2 times I did it this way, come on, don't do this. Please don't do this. All right, all right. Can you guys? Oh, this is embarrassing. Why is it not connecting? Share. All right, hold on. Is it sharing now? Can you guys see the next slide? Fair Use Notice and Disclaimer Act. It's like a delay, but can you guys see that? Ah, here we go. Now you can see it. We rolling now, y'all. Yes. All right, let me get out of this and you guys can see that. All right, yes. Let me close this window down and then we can go right through the slide presentation. No problem. Bear with me. All right, now you should be able to see. What the hell? Oh, come on. Do not do this to me. Oh, great. Okay. It's just a delay. All right, we got it. So, Fair Use Notice and Disclaimer Act. Today we are going to talk about dissecting the biggest brain so that you understand all the other brains in the nation. Now, everybody alive should have a brain. So nobody should take this so offensive or so personal, even though they call themselves the brain, literally, right? What we're going to do is we're going to just slow walk this dog. This is in accordance with the Fair Use Act here. It's going to be for parody, teaching, educating, enlightening, reporting. So we're just going to keep on going through the slides. I'm going to keep the music out because I really don't want to get a copyright here. But if you guys can still hear me, put some ears in the chat because this is where I start to lose volume or sound. But if you guys can hear me, please, all 12 of you, thumbs up this video and put some ears that you can still hear me. I can see the chat. I'm working off one computer and I got my notes on the other computer. So far, so good. So be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. I am not wise in my own eyes because I know I should not lean on my own understanding. But you got some brains out here in the world. They lean on their own wisdom. They say they don't love God. They say they don't have any personal relationship with any higher power. They reference themselves to witches sometimes. And I don't believe they fear the Lord. And I don't believe that some of these brains have not departed from evil. But I hope everybody under the sound of my voice is not wise in their own eyes, that they fear the Lord, and that you have departed from evil, according to Proverbs 3:7. All right. So now we's getting into this. Hey, Miss Brenda. Hey, Naylove. Hi, The Law. Hi, Sydney. Hey, Due Process. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Now, in life, we know that some people walk with a big head, right? And ironically, and not so ironically, but in the medical field, we're going to talk about the kind of brain that gets big due to a certain circumstance, right? But a lot of people walk with a big head in life, right? Like this swollen head, like this pompous attitude, like this proud look, right? That Proverbs 6:16-19 said, God hates 6 things. 7 is an abomination to the Lord. And the very first one is a proud look like this brain right here has, right? So then today we're going to take a look inside the brain. I'm watching the slides and I don't want to get ahead of myself talking. Today we're going to look inside the brain. We're going to look at how the brain is divided, how the brain has many functions, how the brain is twisted, and just all the brain is very functional. And if the brain does not work to its full capacity, it starts to malfunction, and everybody knows that. Can you take a moment in time and just look out into the world and see if you see any brains malfunctioning? And thank you to the 15 watching. Please, everybody give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I'll get to the comments in a minute, I promise, but let me get through. So we're going to look inside the brain. Now, what I know from the brain is that there's different lobes and different functions, and I know different terminologies of it. So this bear with me 1 second. Let me get something to point right here. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on. I almost tripped over the garbage can, but thank God I'm still light on my feet. So right here, this green part is the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe. That green part right there, right? Are you guys still with me? Then we have the purple part. It's called the frontal lobe. The light blue part is called the temporal lobe. The dark blue part is called the occipital lobe. The red part is the cerebellum. The green part down below is the spinal cord. You have the medulla oblongata. You have the pons. And then you have, again, the frontal lobe and the temporal lobe here. So we know royalty, the color of purple, right, is royalty. I was looking at this brain this morning, and the Lord said, just go ahead and say, like, this light blue right here is just the blue that we kind of, most brains kind of sulk and whine and complain, and they just have this sadness about them. This green part is the money part. That's where they, desire the cash apps, and one of my people said in my comments on one of my videos, just to take a break here, they said, how can anybody be asking money for a wheelchair to go to work when they don't work? There's some brains out here that's just going around asking for all kinds of things, right? And it just is inspired by this money. And I always go back to the president. He's inspired by money. But then we have this dark blue. And I think this is just a part of the brain in so many people's brain that just hold on to slavery, say. That's just the part we don't. The red, everybody's brain is on fire. It's hot. It's just running rampant, some of these brains out here. Then you have a darker green here. And I want to say that would be the part of peace. That's like the spinal cord. And the spinal cord, believe it or not, connects down to the back. And when you hear a lot of people say that they have back pain, they have this, it can be something going wrong with their brain. For real, for real, for real. Okay? I'm not making a joke here, but for real, for real, for real. So have that, just get it tested. Anyway, so now that you understand the geographical parts of the brain, we're gonna break down some more. I just want you to show you different colors and pictures of the brain. I'm going on to the next slide. Oh, don't you worry. We about to get there. I'm going to read you what the brain is and what the functions is. I'm going to get through these slideshows right here. So again, the front part of the brain is on fire, it's angry, it's hostile. You got a little bit of gold here that's trying to be at peace. You got that blue sadness, you got that money green, and you got that royalty for the purple. So again, I want you to look how divided the brain is, even against itself. Now, a house divided should never stand. And we look at the brain, the next picture coming up, the brain is clearly divided into two halves. Okay? And sometimes when you look out in life, you said, dang, is this really one brain or two brains? Especially when people call themselves Freddie's daughter or Mon Symon3, or if they call themselves Heckle and Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or, whatever they call themselves. The brain is divided in half, and you don't know which person or who you're going to get. Look at Donald Trump. You get two different brains from him, but the brain does still function as one. A very healthy brain will always function as one. It will not divide itself against itself and become its own worst enemy. What is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so a lot of these people, excuse me, let me get something to drink while the next slide come up. Thank you to the 12 people watching. I believe you. Thank you. A lot of these brains out here try to hold the brains of other people in the palm of their hands. I don't know why these people do this and what they really get out of trying to control people and manipulate people. And some people are out here changing their name to brain as if it's some Jim Crow or some modern day Waco type, or I'll just say some slavery cult type stuff going on, because there's some people who wants to hold the brain of other people in their hand. They want to be very manipulative, very controlling, very commanding. I'm going to tell you how it's going to go down. They never like people to give them constructive criticism. So that's why they try to get people to be in the palm of their hands. So when they say do whatever it is they say do, go wherever they say go, leave YouTube, go here, go there, you got all these people ready to follow. and be at the whims of this person, this brain that likes to have everybody's brain in their hand. Okay, almost done here. This next slide, you're going to see how the brain has multiple compartments and do multiple different things at multiple different times all through the day, all through the night, all week long, all year long. And once this brain, once one compartment in this brain, remember this is all going on within one person, and if one connected dot is not connected, if one person forgets to file something, if one person forget, like say flush the toilet or put the dishes away, this thing can go awry. This brain, you will see it go crazy in the White House, on YouTube, in your home, wherever you see this kind of brain that think they can handle everything, do everything, guide everything. This brain, if one little thing malfunction, you start to see the brain go a little crazy. You start to see the brain act out. So I'm just going to briefly run through a couple more slides here, talk my way through it. So when we get to reading what actually the function of the brain is and everything, you will understand. So again, the brain is twisted. Do you know a lot of twisted people? Remember, the mind is a very valuable thing, is a terrible thing to waste, right? The mind, don't waste the mind. But what about the brain? Are there some brains out here being wasted? Are there some brains out here not living up to their greatest capacity? Are there some brains out here that got all the brains in the world but act like they don't? Act like they have the least of the brains? So it's because they're twisted up in their mind. They're twisted up. They're twisted up. They want to be here on YouTube being the greatest interviewer, the greatest blogger, but maybe they're called to do something else. Maybe over on Facebook. Maybe they're called to be a librarian. Maybe we're called to be a teacher or something like that. And a lot of people try to fit themselves into roles and positions that they really shouldn't do, thinking that they're the biggest brain, only to find themselves entwined within themselves, making wrong decisions most of the time. Again, so now this brain is going to show you how things are supposed to be like a well-oiled ship that runs smoothly. So when this slide comes up, it shows you how everything is supposed to connect the dots within the brain, how everything fits in the groove, how everything, this yellow one has its own duty, the green has its own duty, the red has its own job, and the blue has its own job. But within the brain, it all functions within a healthy brain. It all does what it's supposed to do. But let the yellow one start trying to run backwards. Let the yellow one try to backpedal instead of turn forward. It's going to mess up the blue one. It's going to mess up the red one. Then you got a messed up brain. That's what you got. You got a messed up brain. Do you know any messed up brains out here on YouTube and in the world? I say the president deals with a messed up brain a little bit. His reasonings and his intellect and all the money and education he has, he still doesn't make the right choices in the world. Now, AKA the brain, we're going to take a good look at this picture, and we're almost done, guys. Bear with me. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes of it, y'all. Like I said, I can talk about people, but I refuse to disrespect people. My story, if you feel like you wanted to disrespect me, it can disrespect me if I allow it. Other people's story, when you tell other people's story, it looks disrespectful. But when they tell it, they don't tell the truth. When you tell it, you break it down and you tell it the truth the way it is, and they don't like it. They get offended. And let me tell you something, they love. If you ever have to change your name to Brain or any other name to belong to a society, cult, clique, friendship, I wouldn't do it either, baby. I seen one of your comments in somebody else's live. I wouldn't do it either. You don't have to go along to get along just to belong. And see, when brains like this, aka the brain, wants to tell people that and wants to control people like that, you got to look deeper into the brain and see what's really going on. So now things get a little fuzzy when the brain starts to get uh besides itself. When the brain starts to work in overtime, and when the brain starts to want to, take on assignments and jobs, and, stay up all night for super chats and cash apps and all this other stuff, and be involved in all the drama that doesn't matter, and insert themselves where they want to insert themselves. Let me add the president here so nobody feel left out, and build walls to try to keep the American people hostage. The brain becomes very foggy, y'all. It becomes so foggy. So it becomes so foggy that these people deal with something called, bear with me, y'all, it's coming. They get this big brain about themselves. The brain is like swollen now. The brain is above all other brains. But there's a verse in the Bible that says, be not high-minded. Now, you don't want low self-esteem. This is not what God is talking about. Some people get so big above themselves. One, they forget about God. Two, they forget to be other people's equal. You know what I'm saying? And actually, let me see if I can pull it for you here. I believe it is in the book of Romans. I'm going to get to that verse and give you that verse before we leave. But some people get this big brain about themselves. They feel untouchable. They feel everything they do is right. And then this is what happened next, y'all. They get so confused within themselves, they start to break down. It's coming. They start to break down, y'all. And you could hear it in the brain on YouTube. You could hear it in the president. You can hear it in some of the brains around the world. They got this grandiosity about themselves, like they're so important, but every time they turn on the camera or go live, in the president's case, you can see the sadness, you can see the hurt, you can see the pain, you can see them struggling to pretend to be who they are, to live up to who they are, because they don't want to lose face. They don't want to say to the world, you know what, I'm not who I am. I'm how we used to say it, I'm getting too big for my britches kind of thing, right? And instead of just saying, wait a minute, this is too much, you have the brain running and crying for help, fleeing YouTube, whether it's receipts coming out from Sweet Mom, or whether she just knows she cannot handle the lifestyle she presented to us on YouTube. Just like the president don't know, but he got some brains behind him that won't tell him to sit down and shut up either. So they start to get blue. They start to get sad. This red is the fire and the disconnection. This pink you see, it's just like them fighting against themselves. One side of the brain wants to take over the other side of the brain. One side of the brain wants to be good. The other side wants to be bad. They call in the middle of this brain war that goes on within them. And they start to break down to the point where their brain becomes fried. Thank you to the 17 watching. Please, 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 please like this video, share this video, subscribe to this page if you haven't. So their brain becomes fried, y'all. So once the brain becomes so fried, it's like we go into the breakdown of the brain. This is where I'm going to tell you now how the brain should function. And when the brain isn't functioning properly, some of the things that the brain can suffer when it malfunctions. All right, let's go into that now. Let me pull up this right here and see what we could do. All right. I'm just going to give you the brief scripture. Then I'm going to cross over to what the brain is. Then I'm going to break down the disorders of the brain. So on the screen right here, I'm going to put all the links down below. This is how I know some brains are malfunctioning out here in the world, especially those that say they don't like God. Be of the same mind one toward another. Set not your mind on high things, Be condensed to men of low estate. Be not wise of your own conscience or your own conceit. You understand what I'm saying? You got some brains out here that just don't understand. They operate um in a high-minded state. You know, hood, it's trash, it's ghetto, it's low life. Like they want to be high, they want to be on this pedestal, they want to be so educated, they want to be for the people, sisterhood, this, that, and the third. But they always find themselves in. Let's overview. What is the brain? It's gonna pop in if you can't see it, guys. And again, fair use. I'm gonna post this video once it uploads. There. Oh my goodness. Why would this one pop up in the middle? All right. So I have one of these things that just I want it. All right. The brain that's protected within the skull. It plays a role in just about every major body system. Can you understand where I'm going? People don't understand a lot of the things that malfunction within the body is because so things are malfunctioning. All right, so why did it? Okay, we're still on the same page. Processing sensory information, regulating blood pressure and breathing, releasing hormones. Okay? Are you guys with me? Why is it? Can you guys? It's buffering. It's still buffering. Can you guys see it now? Is it still buffering, Milagros? Hey, welcome. It's still buffering. Can you guys hear me? It's still buffering. Sydney is buffering. Can you guys see now? You can see now it stopped buffering. All right. Okay, good. All right. So let's just, if it lets me, let me just get through the anatomy and the function. So we have what's called the cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It's divided into two hemispheres. The two hemispheres are separated by a groove called the interhemispheral longitudinal fissure. All right, so frontal lobes. You have the frontal lobe, you have the occipital lobe. Hello. Yeah, can you get two 9 volt batteries for the smoke detectors? All right, love you. Sorry about that, guys. So the frontal lobes are the largest of the lobes. As indicated by their name, they're located in the front part of the brain. They coordinate high-level behaviors such as motor skills, problem solving, judgment, planning, and attention. The frontal lobes are also manage emotions and impulse control. The parietal lobes, these are located behind the frontal lobes. They're involved in organizing and interpreting sensory information from other parts of the brain. The temporal lobe, these are located on either side of the head on the same level as the ears. They coordinate specific functions, including visual memories such as facial recognition, verbal memories such as understanding language, and interpreting the emotions and reactions of others. So we have the occipital lobe. They're located in the back of the brain. They're heavily involved in the ability to read and recognize printed words along with other aspects of vision. So that's that part. The cerebellum. The cerebellum is located in the back of the brain, just below the occipital lobes. It's involved with fine motor skills, which refers to the coordination of smaller or finer movements, especially those involving the hands and feet. It also helps the body maintain its postures, equilibrium, and balance. Now, if any of those are off, believe you me, the brain is not functioning well. The brain will never function well. And when something is off in the brain, it leads to the brain having disorders. And we're going to get into those disorders right now. And as we get into this disorder, look out into the nation of brains. Look out into the world and see if people are dealing with possible brain disorders causing them to behave the way they are behaving. So we have what's called diencephalon. This is the thalamus, the epithalamus, and the hypothalamus. And of the three guys, let me just let you know the hypothalamus helps maintain homeostasis. This refers to the balance of all bodily functions. And it does this by this maintaining daily psychological cycles such as sleep wake cycle, controlling appetite, regulating body temperature, and controlling the producing and releasing of hormones. So we have what's called the brain stem. This is located in the front of the cerebellum and connects to the spinal cord. It consists of three major parts: the midbrain, which helps control eye movement and processes visually and auditory information. The pons, this is the largest part of the brain stem. It's located below the midbrain. It's a group of nerves that help connect different parts of the brain. The pons also contains the start of some of the cranial nerves. These nerves are involved in facial movements and transmitting sensory information. Now, the medulla oblongata. This part of the brain is most important for the function of the heart and lungs. It helps regulate many important functions, including breathing, sneezing, and swallowing. So that's pretty much for the brain, okay? We're going to go over to some of the disorders, and then we're going to get into the breakdown of the disorders. Because when I was looking at such words as hemorrhage, when I was looking at such words as lack of oxygen, aneurysm, colitis. When you look at these real brains of the world, see mouth and forms. So business. So I'm not here. People have these diseases, but then I would suggest anybody to go have an MRI done, brain scan done, because generally there could be leakage going on. There could be fluid escaping from places where it shouldn't be escaping from. And it adds to the behavior of certain people, especially the ones who call themselves the brains. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get back to my regular screen. I think we broke down pretty much everything that we needed to talk about what the brain is. Bear with me, guys, because when you start to see some of the conditions of the brain, for those of you who've been analyzing the brain on YouTube, especially, we're going to see how a lot of this plays into effect, especially to her coming on TV yesterday saying how she's this going on with that. Look at it in just one moment. Screen pulls back up here. Hey guys, hey Key, what's up? How are you? So we're gonna get into some of the brain, okay? Like I was telling you before, I'm trying to wait till my screen goes back blank here. All right, can you see the black screen? And can you still hear me? All right, guys. Yep, here we go. I can stop sharing. All right, cool. The first one we're going to begin. Now, remember, this isn't poking fun at anybody. People may be dealing with headaches or read within a read. Can you hear me now? All right. See, that's the problem. Hold on. Let me stop sharing it. Can you hear me now, Cindy? Can you hear me, Lauren? It's buffering. It's coming back. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? All right. Hold on. It's still going in and out. All right, can you hear me now? It's like the Google Hangouts froze up. All right, there goes the picture. Hold on, it's like it's coming in. Can you guys hear me now? Oh shoot, this is the best part of it.